Hello and welcome to this very short presentation about the 23 Squadron conversation. So what is it? In one sentence, it is a process that harnesses soldiers' innovative ideas, answers their questions and addresses their concerns. So it's a tool that empowers soldiers and their leaders to do the following: to capture innovative ideas at the shop floor level, to highlight where an opportunity for an improvement has been seen, to seek information about anything that doesn't make sense to them, to articulate any concerns that they have about their working environment, crucially, to develop soldiers' skills of evaluating the situation and articulating their recommendations of a solution or a way out. And it's also a good way for us to engage with our soldiers in a productive and meaningful way. What it is not. It is not anything relating to matters of discipline or AGI. It is not anything that may relate to a service complaint. It is not an alternative to defence ideas, even though nobody uses it anyway. It's definitely not an opportunity simply to chunter without a well-developed solution to the problem. And it's also not a pink and fluffy answer to all our problems. So how is it going to be done? Or the question you actually want to know is, how much work do I have to do? Well, the answer is, you won't actually have to do much work because I've done about 80% of it for you. All I need for you is for you to tell me you're happy to be involved as a HOD and someone who's concerned about your blokes and ladies, as we all are, and a picture from you. That picture there is me sat in the captain's chair of the HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier, looking really pleased with myself and slightly concerned for some reason, but I can't remember why. You give me a picture and the 2D barcode that you see to the right of it, that is basically for your guys to scan, and that will take you straight through to a form that I've created on Microsoft Forms. When I say the word form, it makes your brain start shutting down, like there's loads of stuff to do, but I can assure you there isn't a lot, and it's really intuitive. And the young guys and girls that are joining today, they like the tech sort of stuff, so they're likely to be more receptive to it. When they've scanned the 2D barcode on their phones or followed a link that I'll send out to them on their computer, they will come through to this form here. Obviously, I've tried to make it look colourful and army-like, but not in a way that's intimidating or makes people want to switch off. And it takes them through a nice, quick, simple, easy form, but one that will hopefully get all the stuff that we want. So I'll take you through it very quickly. The soldier will have to give their army number, otherwise you don't know who to respond to. And that's the only piece of personally identifiable information that is on the form. And this is where we get to the meat of what we're trying to do. The soldier will be guided through to this, and they will say that they see something that could be improved with an idea that they have, or they have something that they don't understand about how we work, or they have an issue that they'd like to raise. So this is where the soldier will briefly describe the point that they're trying to raise. Next, the soldier needs to evaluate what good could come or what bad things could happen if they don't have this conversation. And finally, they need to give their solution of how they think they can see a way through the issue that they're raising. Microsoft Forms will collate all that information, and I'll show you how to use that. I'll do a little bit of training at a later date. But the next thing you need to do is actually engage with your soldiers formally, and I'll show you how to do that. So the way you carry on the conversation is with this continuation form. It's really easy to use. I've made drop down boxes. You don't even have to type things in. Most of the things, it's only the boxes where you have to write things in. So the first box, the first large text box, is where you repeat back to the subject what you believe their issue is. There is nothing worse than someone having an issue and you not understanding it fully. So for that reason, in the second box, the respondee says, yes, they're happy that this is the issue I'm raising. The third box down the bottom with the sort of transparent faces in it, having a conversation, funnily enough, that is where you give your initial response to the issue. The next box with the scales in them is where you can explain your response in greater detail. So basically what you're doing is you're giving the rationale behind your response. The last box with the little perpetual motion ball things is what, if any, action you're going to take in response to the conversation. And the last box that you see here is the final chance for the soldier to say, yes, I'm happy with this conversation, or no, I'm not happy with this conversation. If they're not happy with the conversation, they can actually pass it on to the Sergeant Major. And at this point, I'd just like to remind you, it's not a matter of discipline or anything like that. What this is an avenue for our junior soldiers, our junior commanders, or even us as sergeants to say, look, I see something that can be better here, whether it's an innovation or the way we do things, or something doesn't make sense to people in the way that we do it, and they see a better way to do things in the workplace. So if I could ask you to get back to me if you'd like to be involved as a HOD, and I would probably do definitely will do some continuation sort of familiarisation training so we can get the system up and running. So I'd really, really like your buy-in on this and help me out, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's actually part of another course that I'm doing that I have to do. I have to be able to show that I can make an improvement in the workplace, and this is my idea of how I think we can do it. And ultimately, hopefully, it will make 23 Squadron even better than it is already, because it is a good place, and we just want to make it that much better by really connecting up the dots of communication within the squadron and having people that avenue to express themselves and articulate their thoughts and feelings, and hopefully raise morale and innovation and the way that the workplace makes sense to people, so that they're not just blindly working, work makes sense to them and they are more happy about working hard because there's a point to it. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Just coming in over 8 minutes, so I hope it wasn't too long. Thanks very much, and hopefully we'll take this process forward soon.